Today marks a special return, as we welcome back the original navigator of knowledge, the maestro of mischief, Alpha himself. Get ready for an electrifying journey through the latest in tech, trends, and tantalizing topics. From the virtual front lines of gaming glory to the cutting-edge corners of our digital future, we're dialing up the intensity. Strap in, power up, and prepare for an Alpha Wednesday like no other. The countdown. Welcome to Alpha Wednesdays, your digital nexus for exploration and imagination.
Disclaimer coming out.
Before we launch into the vast universe of ideas, a quick navigation note. The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests are tailored for entertainment, education, and the expansion of our collective horizons. These dialogues are crafted from unique perspectives to inspire, challenge, and provoke thought, all while exploring the infinite possibilities beyond our current reality. Remember, this journey is about learning and growing together through speculative intrigue and philosophical wonder. No one is exposing, revealing, indicting, or telling you anything concrete about themselves.
I'm gonna make them 30 seconds. I'm gonna make them 30 seconds. I have an updated version. I have an updated version that's 30. I understand. You're right. I do have ones. I made them that are they're 30 seconds each. These were 60 seconds. I chopped them up to 30 seconds. So we'll get to 30 seconds for the next go around. But I wanted the full one so people can understand the gist of it. So they'll, because like I said, when I was doing the Diddy topic yesterday, I have editors doing these, and I don't want them to look at these and be like, yo, what the hell is this guy? When people saw I was defending Diddy, they hit me up like, yo, he's a, and I'm like, so I had to kind of basically let people understand this is a show we're doing for sure. Yeah, when you start calling him R. Diddy and stuff like that, we have to get the disclaimer going. We keep it PC. We keep it pretty kosher on here. We keep it halal too, halal and kosher. Can't hear the other people. Holy shit. Rattlesnake, thank you. How is that happening? Wait. What about now? Rattlesnake? This is going to be. Oh, I see them talking, but I can't hear them. Okay, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix this issue here. All right, let's go to the settings in Discord. Stream there.
I think it's coming across now.
It's coming across now?
Yeah, it works. So finally.
I hear them. Okay. Is it clear? Is it
I don't think the soundboard's working now.
No way. The sound. I just hit the soundboard up.
Not on Discord.
Yeah. You're right. It's not gonna work on Discord unless I do the stream's going, so let's just do we play the disclaimer again?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Yeah, don't do that shit. That shit was super gas, bro. It doesn't even sound like me.
Okay, so we have two.
It sounds like very vaguely like me.
Two Discord audios now. So let me see which one
I'm talking.
All right, it's not echoing. Rattlesnake, how does it sound? Rattlesnake was such a good sport right now, and he really helped us out through Alpha Wednesday. I think it's time for something that, we're going to replay.
You gonna really replay this shit?
Do you know what I'm replaying?
No, I don't. I hope it's not what I think it is. Play that fucking... Did you pay money for that fucking,
right above, kill them.
No, I'm playing something else. You guys...
Anyway, you fucking moron, man.
Right, last night, we had a crazy victory. We had the AlphaBot who stepped in mid-game to give us a hype speech. And after the AlphaBot hype speech, we went nuts. Massive kill games. Now right here, everyone's down. We need me. What do? Finger roll. Let's go!
Let's fucking go! Wow. What?
I'm fighting Rattlesnake in my ear.
Talking about,
man. You gotta be shitting me. I cannot believe
I call that the fucking
I
finger
just,
roll.
what I find funny about that clip is how surprised you were in your own face when you got the dubs. So,
it wasn't surprised. It was a legendary play.
Torpedo! Show your reaction again, because you were the most surprised person in the room when you got the dub.
What dub are you talking about? Is it Call of Duty?
No! Kidding me. I cannot believe
I call that the fucking finger roll of Kobe. The finger.
Oh, let's fucking go! Wow. What?
Let's go! That's me right there, just chatting, beat Ohio. But yeah, that was a crazy game. We went ham. Do you guys want to hear the AlphaBot giving us a hype speech?
No, bro.
You sure?
It's gonna be the exact same thing.
Let's hear it. Fuck it. Why not?
All right, let's see here. Here we go. This is after the AlphaBot came in mid-game. We went nuts. I'm not gonna lie.
We've been in tough spots before, faced down impossible odds, and guess what? Standing strong together. This is one of those moments that test our grit, our teamwork, and our determination. Every challenge is just a setup for a legendary comeback. We've got the skills, the strategy, and the sheer willpower on this team to turn any game around. Let's take a breath, recalibrate, and dive back in with everything we've got. Focus on our strengths, cover each other's back, and push forward with precision. Mistakes happen, but it's how we respond to them that defines us as Six and Clicks. Let's remind everyone who we are and what we're capable of. We're not just any team, we're a force to be reckoned with. Channel that energy, that passion, and let's flip the script on this game. We play smart, we play hard, and above all, we play together.
Dude, why is this so long, bro?
It's
like the Lord of
Why
the
is this so
Rings.
fucking
I changed
long?
them
You
all.
cut it after like 10 seconds.
Listen,
We got the fucking point. How did you even get hyped off of that? It's like a literal chat GPT just like that wrote something to you, dude.
Hey, I'm not gonna. We got super hyped. To be honest, I actually have a clip of them snapping on me playing it. I should have actually played that one instead.
Why are we sitting here watching your fucking stream highlights?
What happened was we had to
Abe's so proud of himself with this little retarded.
Yeah, I thought we were here to push boundaries and expand our ways.
Abe's can't wait to show me this fucking bot.
Yeah, let me brag to everybody. Look at my accomplishments. Thought we were here to talk, chop it up.
Yeah, fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about your stream highlights.
Okay, all right, relax.
This is the stream highlights.
Everybody's saying that the AlphaBot sounds like Alpha.
It doesn't, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I let my wife listen to it. She said it sounds like nothing like me.
Hold up, we got a guest. We got a newcomer trying to say something.
Hang on.
Who's a newcomer? I can't see the chat.
I don't know. I just saw a Michigan avatar, so I just figured
it's gotta be awesome then.
Yeah.
Enter the building. This is when you jump in. MGoBlake. He's gonna do that on purpose. The chat's saying that the AlphaBot does sound like you. I have showed other people, and people think the AlphaBot's hilarious. We had a couple of different bots that we were testing. An Indian guy, a British guy that's Jew, but the AlphaBots, we're gonna stick with the AlphaBot for the whole season. To be honest, I don't think we're gonna get any more sounds. No more bots.
You should keep training your bot with my voice because it sounds nothing like me.
We are. Don't worry. This is just version 1. Version 1. I thought you had a video on YouTube of you speaking, and I was looking for it, and I got so lazy. I'm like, because it's harder to. It's easy to on the stream, but I need a lot.
Why would you just feed it the stream clip? It's just fucking over. You have hours of me talking.
I fed it I don't have hours of you nonstop talking. I fed it at least 4 minutes of you, different clips. And it's annoying to get these clips,
Bro, just ask Alpha a question about the Ming Dynasty and let him cook, and then
he's not even watching Shogun. I can't even ask him that.
Ming Dynasty is from China.
Yeah.
Shogun's about Japan. You fucked up, Abe. You fucked up.
Yeah. Got me there.
What do you know about the Opium Wars?
I actually knew that what you said about when the West came there and then they banned everything from the West. I knew that one. Well, nobody got the audio of the solar eclipse popping off on the 8th. Are you gonna check it out, Alpha?
I'm not gonna be able to miss it. I was in Detroit, bro. It's gonna be right in my line of sight.
All right.
Because we're gonna ultrasound that day anyway for my kid. So
let's go. Eclipse.
You're gonna name him Clips? Name him Clips.
No.
Name him Solar. Name him Solar.
I don't want my kid to get bullied in school.
Blake Farwana.
Blake.
There he is. MGoBlake.
Are you excited for this? Hey, I'm bringing a laptop. I'm bringing a camera. I'm bringing 2 cameras and the microphone. We're gonna set up.
Okay.
We're gonna set up.
Great.
It's gonna be a sick setup right now.
What is this? WrestleMania? You guys are talking about?
Two-day event. 2-day Mania event.
I saw The Rock turned heel. Has he got a big match coming up, MGoBlake?
I guess you'll have to wait to find out on Saturday and Sunday.
The Rock turned heel.
Yeah, we got heel Rock back. I just see Twitter clips. It looks pretty lit, honestly.
We've been reviewing them. We've been reviewing all the Rock clips. We've been building up. We've been building up for this. The Rock turned around.
Take a night off from your family duties.
Hey, have you been a constant wrestling fan for since we were kids, or have you been in and out of the fandom?
I've always been a fan. Even if I'm not watching, I'm there in spirit. The problem that
I'm watching at your house with Ali and Ali assistant.
Oh, we watched the Royal Rumble.
He's just grilling us on it.
He goes, "Why the fuck did we just watch this?" Because
you said that's what your brother said.
He's not pleased.
We all thought The Rock was going to enter the Rumble. Number 30. He just didn't enter it.
I think the Royal Rumble is more
and we missed LeBron versus Curry and shit.
Yeah, because you guys are some degenerate sports gamblers. They're watching a before All-Star game.
Can you bet on the WWE? And if
you can now.
You're watching wrestling, Abe.
You can now. They changed the rules up.
You can bet.
WWE, I think they changed it so you can't anymore since it's fixed.
No, they did it so you can. They're working with the regulators that you can. That's what I heard. I'm really upset about like we're gonna have we should have had a show dedicated to Vince. We could do this to Vince, to be honest, because
it's gonna be the same convo as P Diddy. Let's just not have another P Diddy convo where you try to defend and be the white knight for said person.
You didn't see. Listen, after
Abe has never had a social deviant that he didn't find like some common cause with.
Yeah, this guy loves fucking Trump.
Like literally, like every single like scumbag on the planet. For some reason, Abe finds the good part of them.
You guys think I doubled down on Friday night? We had a whole stream where I was literally had these shades on. I had this hat on that I looked like Diddy, and all we did was play No Way Out, the whole album.
So is this like, do the shades represent your own heel turn? Is this like the new persona, Bad Boy Abe? Is that what we got going on here?
The shades are Hollywood Abe originally, but tonight it's because I had a headache. It's dark, it's cloudy. I didn't even really want to do the show. I had a slam days. I'm like, we got to figure this out. So I had to. The shades are part of the game right now. We don't have to talk about Vince about what went down, but the fact is that there needs to be a Vince chant at WrestleMania 40. Like we need to have a Vince. The fans have got to turn. They have to have a Vince chant.
Why?
What? What do you mean why? Because
why?
It's Vince fucking McMahon.
Didn't he like leave his own company in disgrace? He had like sell it to the Saudis or some shit. I don't really know what's all going on with him, but it's like, isn't that what happened?
He did what's best for business. He's a businessman at the end of the day. He understood what was going on. He understood that like the brand, the company's more important than him. He sacrificed himself, and he got caught up. He got caught up on some bullshit.
He has nothing to do with the business anymore, though.
He is the business.
No, he's not. He had to sell, right?
Oh my God. Let me tell you something.
I asked you a question. I don't know. I thought he had to sell. Right?
He sold. He sold TKO.
Okay.
TKO bought it.
Hold on.
Yeah,
we have a wrestling expert on the phone with us. Why don't we just go to them and see what Phillips's take is on this Vince situation?
I'm currently playing a Royal Rumble on 2K, so.
Hey,
all right, well, congrats on the Hall of Fame.
MGoBlake, we have a disclaimer. So anything you say here is just for the show. It's not real. If you say something, nobody's gonna hold you to it. They're not gonna pinpoint your voice.
Why say it, bro? Why are this a waste of time? Why don't you speak from the heart?
Clickbait. Abe's about the clickbait.
It's not clickbait.
So Abe, I don't think you fundamentally. I don't think you understand that because
how do you explain to the people about your plan for your store?
Oh yes,
store.
Oh, listen, we're talking about Vince right now, guys. I want to say something. You guys want to hate on Vince? Nobody could have done what Vince did with the WWE other than Vince. What Vince did.
I don't think anybody's doubting that. I'm saying that like the dude doesn't have anything to do with the business anymore.
Yeah, you're kind of just saying that everyone needs to chant his name, and that's just like some next level that it's just not necessary. Like he's gone. He sold his business. Why are we chanting his name?
He is the WWE.
He was.
It has this like strange hero worship thing, hero worship complex. I don't know, like.
Abe, the number one rule of showbiz is that
like
the show goes on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start the Vince chat. We're gonna start the Vince chat on Saturday and Sunday. We're gonna start the Vince chat. The stream's going to get it going, and it's going to relay back to the WWE universe, and they're going to hear it, and it's going to happen. Watch. You hear to hear it first. Did you see the CM Punk interview with Ari Awesome or Go Phillips?
No.
You got to watch that. If you watch that, you'll understand the difference between Tony Khan, who's like, he had the best shot to come in the game, and they're giving him all this everything, and he's blowing it because he doesn't understand business. He doesn't understand entertainment. He doesn't understand anything. He's letting Dave Matthews, basically, who's the guy who does all the WWE like wrestling grades for the matches? What's his name?
Meltzer.
Yeah. What was say that again?
Meltzer.
Hey, can we keep this like more less specific? Because I don't think me and AZ don't know anything about wrestling.
I agree.
This was the pre-show. This was the pre-show to the next one. Don't worry. We're just. MGoBlake joined.
I've been staring at this prompt on the screen for the last hour, and we haven't even touched it yet. Like, do we want to dive into today's topics?
Yeah.
Today's topic. So, does your company abuse you? This has sponsored off of. There's numerous things going on in the corporate workforce that are like not just shady. They've been practicing these over and over, but now with the economy down and all this and
Hey,
layoffs
isn't shady like isn't that like what you like, bro? Like, isn't that, you should sound like you should get into like the corporate world. Like, you like every single villain on the planet. You should definitely be in like corporate America.
What do you think? I've raised the question. Does that mean that I think they're abused? Maybe, you know, I've been on record.
What do you mean by what do you consider abuse?
Okay, so there's a practice called like shadow. It's like called a shadow job position. Meaning is they'll abuse the workforce and they'll make them go overtime, 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, and the whole staff's like, you know, we need to hire somebody else. So what does the company do? They go and they put these job applications out and they say, don't worry guys, help's on the way. They're coming. But in reality, it's bullshit. They're fake applicants. They don't respond to anybody. They tell them, if you apply, sorry, this position is no longer available. And it's just a smoke signal to milk your employees for another month or 2-3 months before they burn out and quit. It's a continuous thing. So the question is, does your company abuse you? We can say, do you abuse your company? Because the polar end of this is there's people who milk corporations, and then the corporations know that. So what do? They take it out on everybody else.
I think it's like an ebb and flow, you know. Sometimes you use the company, sometimes the company has to use you, type thing. At the end of the day, it all comes out in the wash.
I don't think it's that I don't think it's that like 50-50.
I mean, I think part of it is like I just go to work, bro, and I'm done. Like, I don't really look to my work to give me anything other than a paycheck, and I'm not trying to give them anything other than 8-9 hours a day. Like, no abuse needed on either side.
Okay, so do you think that you give your company your all?
Absolutely not.
No, fuck no.
Okay.
If you do, you're kind of like fucked in the head.
You're a loser. I have a strict rule that I purposely don't respond to emails for 24 hours, so people think I'm busy and they don't give me more work.
I'm working right now.
I honestly, I'm like a big believer that unless it's like your own business, like you should not be giving like your all to help someone get rich.
Do you guys feel guilt when you say that, knowing that what you're doing indirectly affects the other people who don't understand that, and they get, or maybe they do understand that, but the company says, you know what, we're gonna take this guy out, and they're gonna.
Let me tell you something. What a wise man once told me: don't hate the player, hate the game, Abe.
The wise man. Shout out Paul Heyman.
I mean, if you're like a sucker, I can't really help you with that. At the end of the day, you can only help yourself.
So this is what I'm saying is it's a conundrum, right? A sucker is if you go and you give it all to your workplace, that's you're deemed a sucker. So on that context, if you guys are right, and this is new to me, then the companies are right to abuse people.
I feel like this is coming from a very specific example that you have. So could you just like peel the onion back?
The example is that
a very specific agenda you had for tonight.
Yeah, tell us more about who abused you, Abe.
This is like a grand scheme of the workplace right now with like
sweet.
You have people who didn't want to go back to work with I saw WeWork is going downhill.
WeWork?
Yeah, WeWork's going downhill. The remote work.
What do you mean it's going downhill, bro? That thing has been going downhill for like 6 years.
It was just a shit.
It's been bankrupt for like 6 freaking years, man.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? How is this like? This is like what you know. Like you just like know WeWork.
That's just
okay. Look, Abe. Here's the thing. Like,
but there's a lot.
Let me lay it out for you. Should you be giving your company your all? Probably not. Unless you have stock in the company, I don't really understand why you would give any company your all. Not just like have stock, but have a lot of stock. Because they're not giving you like enough share in the company or the share in the future success of the company for you to give a fuck. Now, if they're gonna give you stock and they're gonna give you like a decent amount of stock, then maybe you should. Maybe then it's in your best interest.
Okay,
but if you're just getting if you're getting a fixed paycheck, then it doesn't really fucking matter.
Do you know anybody at your workplace who's stressed out from working?
Probably. I'm sure they exist. I don't really talk to people at my workplace though. I talk to them about work, but I don't talk about their work life. I don't talk about their personal lives.
You're disconnected from your company, you're saying.
I think as you should be in most instances. You should not be like. I personally don't find the need to like be social at my company. No.
Did your disconnect happen during the remote work era, or have you always?
It never started. I never had any real connection with people that I worked with. Maybe except for like 1 or 2 people. That's pretty much it.
I'm not saying connection as like, hey, let's go get coffee, but hey, you see this guy working and you see him sweating.
Are you saying is hard work contagious in the workplace? Is that essentially the question?
No, the question is that there's a fine line between giving your company your all and getting abused by them, and then basically putting pressure on you constantly to perform, and giving you loads of work. And like the example I said, it happens. There's many, maybe not in your industries, but maybe there are people in your company in a different industry. They're overloaded with work.
But it's at will employment. So at the end of the day, you're free to leave if you're feeling overworked.
That's debatable too.
Is it?
Here's what I'll give you from an example, like just from my own personal experience. So I work in the auto industry. When I was working in the auto industry in Kalamazoo, there's no other auto industry really in town. There's just like one or two companies that you can work for. And so you don't have any leverage over your employer. And so it makes it really hard to quit. And then the employer also knows that. And so they'll kind of treat you like crap. When I moved to Detroit, which is like the center of the auto industry, and there's 1 billion employers here, suddenly the tables are turned. And so I have leverage over the employer, because they don't want me to quit, because they don't want to have to train another person like me, and because I have a decent amount of experience or whatever. So it's a function of time and then also the environment. So you have to move where you have leverage. What?
On the flip side, if you're in the hotbed for the auto industry, if they got rid of you, they could just find a new you in seconds. If there's all this auto talent around, no?
Yeah, but there's like a lot of upfront costs. They'd rather just keep you most of the time.
No, I agree with AZ on that. It's like it's called like the honeypot thing, where it's like you get fired, they'll go.
That's why I said it's also a function of time. So like the more experience you have, like the harder it is for them to just like let you go like that.
But like,
yeah, there's a bigger pool, but like,
why would that be different in Kalamazoo? Because I mean, it's the same hiring and upfront costs that you'd have to invest to get if somebody quit, right?
Yeah,
like
but
these are low talent.
It's harder for you to quit because they're the $1 billion corporation, and you're just like some dude making like 60-70K a year.
Well, where does the abuse stem from then? Where does the abuse stem from in the company? Is it from the top all the way at the top, the middle management, or like the third tier management? Who's causing this?
Well, it's capitalism, so it's always the top and shareholder value. If it's a publicly traded company, it's a stock price. 99 times out of 100. That one.
It just depends on the company. I think Abe's talking more like a personal level. So at some companies, it's like the upper management are the fucking assholes, and some companies it's like the middle management that are the assholes.
Because the upper management, like if it's a public company, it goes by like if their bonuses reflect how the stock's doing. Well, on that sense, yeah. But when I'm talking about like the workforce, are they controlling like the operations of the the entire workforce from all the way to the top?
I mean, are you talking about like a union? What you're describing is like a union. That's when the workforce controls dynamics.
There's a co-founder, then there's a general manager, then there's a manager, a regional manager, then there's then you have the workers underneath them. So like at what point of that chain do you think that like somebody says, I don't want to work, so I'm going to push my work down? Or does it happen from the top and it just trickles down, and by the time you're at the bottom guy, you're just getting mayhemed?
Well, it always starts at the top, because senior positions, you don't actually work. You just set strategies and tell people what to do. So ultimately, you're deciding what work needs to be done in what time frame.
How many people you need to do it.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. You know what the resources you have is, and you can say, hey, I'm going to sign my team up for this work. Either I have the resources to go out and get additional headcount, or I don't. And then you have to have your team deliver against the plan that you've set when you're in your senior position. So it's up to you to budget and allocate your resources properly. And more experienced people will know with the resources that they have what can and can't get done. So when you see senior executives flunk out, it's because they made a wrong call when it came to budgeting time, people, resources, etc. So it's always going to start at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that part too, but I just think that somewhere down the line in one of the manager levels, they just start taking out their, they try to just, they find the employees and it's just start pushing their work down to them so they can not do anything, and they want to feel more superior. So by them feeling superior, it's like, oh, I don't got to work. I'm there. He works for me. I just think that when that stuff happens, it's just a bad. I just see a lot of people like come in, when I deal with customers or this, they're either, there's no person who's like a middle ground. It's either they're chilling about their job, they're milking the company like you guys sound like it's fantastic, or they're getting slaughtered. This guy the other day looked at me like he was just like his back. He goes, I got to get out of here. You know, I can't do it anymore. And I'm just looking at him. Like, I felt so bad for him. You know.
But like the jobs that we work, it's not like your minimum wage retail like bitch slave that you have running around your shop.
I mean,
so just so that you understand.
Well, thanks for generalizing all my customers.
You tell me that you pay your workers more than minimum wage.
You see this thing? Does your company abuse you?
I'm asking you. Do you pay more than minimum wage? I seriously doubt you do.
Do I what? I give whoever works for me gets paid way more than minimum wage. I don't want no minimum wage bitch working for me.
Really, you pay way more than minimum wage for some for some retail job.
Yeah, because I have a lot of responsibility, and that they're knowing that, and then once I realize that they're no good to me.
In Crossroads Mall.
I start the abuse. This son of
I'm calling cap. There's no fucking way you pay more than minimum wage.
You know the rules.
And I bet you're like an asshole boss and a slave driver too.
You know the rules of the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Billups, you know the rules, this fucking guy.
Hey, didn't you like outsource some dev work to India? Like, and weren't you kind of that asshole boss from what I recall?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So did you abuse your workers?
Listen.
Shift up the laptop.
I believe abuse at this point, it comes down to the workforce, is mandatory, and that once you get through the abuse, but there's elevation.
This is how I know you have minimum wage employees, because the only people who would put up with that, like with something like that, are like actual minimum wage people with like nothing else, like no other way. No way out. They have to like deal with your ass. The game
fucked up. These minimum wage
fuckers. I know for a fact, like small business tyrants like you are they're the reason why, like, you're the reason why there's like communist revolutions and like fucking unions and stuff, because people don't like want to deal with people like you. That's like literally what it is. It's basically a race to the bottom at this point. So like everybody that can get out of that position has like figured out how to like milk the system, or has just moved up the ladder, and then pretty much all that's left is just like the salt that's evaporated out, and those are the people that you gotta deal with. So like basically like the lowest of the low kind of folks that have like nothing better to do work for your ass, and you pay the minimum wage, and that explains your frustration with workplace dynamics in general.
I let you go off there because I wanted the audio.
Know the rules.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Alpha. What do you think the difference is between a minimum wage employee and then a guy who just is making 50,000 from their
50,000 is basically minimum wage.
It's not.
That's not very far from minimum wage to me.
Yeah, but what do you think the gap is?
Not very big. Minimum wage is like what, like 25, 30K?
So
what can you do with 50K a year? You can't do shit.
Where do you think we're talking? What world do you live in where you have this abundance?
Not the 50K world.
This abundance of $100,000, $80,000 employees.
Isn't it? That's like every like corporate job these days. That's like every corporate job.
What? No, that's not.
Every corporate job is like 80K starting these days. What are you talking about?
You're speaking of a privileged point of view. Go Billups. Do you have any stats?
Nah, bro.
You have any stats for us, Go Billups or AZ?
I'll keep my financials private, thank you.
Not you personally, you son of a B word. I'm talking about in general. Like
I get in my industry. I've hired entry level positions like coordinator level at like 70K. 80K.
This is what I'm saying, dude. 80K, 70. This is like this is fresh out of college type numbers, bro. What are you talking about?
The difference.
We just hired a guy away from a major retailer, electronics. We're paying him 65, and he's doing warehouse work.
Yes, that's kind of the point. Is that like 65 now is like that's like the minimum you should be making. And honestly, the difference between somebody making
literally we'll be opening and shipping and doing packages and stuff, taping boxes.
Yeah, and the only difference between that job and a minimum wage job when it comes to worker is like right place, right time. Like you were able to find this opportunity because the skill level isn't that much different. It's can you like maximize your opportunity when you get it, and are you able to leverage connections? Because it's very similar skill levels. There's not like one thing that's going to make somebody stand out versus the other. It's opportunity and leveraging.
Right, but the middle class is about 63,000. Okay, so by your definition, is all you have to do is go to college and you just jump in the middle class. There are so many people in the $40,000 to $60,000 range that I think you guys are just undershooting them, or maybe you guys are at just places of your company where you just are too I don't want to say privileged, but like you're just two on the higher, like you're just on different companies where you don't see those.
Well, those, I mean, yeah, because you went to school for like a liberal arts degree or something, and then you can't find a job, or you majored in like English literature, like that's just kind of on you, man.
So
like
every marketing position, you think that everybody who has a marketing degree is making over 65?
Oh, learn the code, man. There's work out there if you want it. Like I really do think that.
Learn the code. That's funny.
Hey, if you straight up, if you were making minimum wage in the United States, something really went wrong in your life, especially if you're an adult. Like you don't know how many like junctures in life you have to like just fail at to be minimum wage in the United States, because that's basically a death sentence. And it's just like you're like fast tracked, like fucking like.
Let's
like you're like fast tracked to like dropping a toaster in a bathtub.
I think we're missing the hierarchy. The point of this is, right, it's not about you. It's like this. It's about like, if I pay somebody minimum wage or over minimum wage, okay, their output it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what I pay them. So it's because they're gonna perform.
What are you talking about? Yes, it does matter what you pay them, dude. No, they're not, dude. No, you pay somebody a lot more, they're gonna perform a lot better.
You guys get paid more.
If at your minimum wage paying job you decide to pay double, you get a way higher caliber person coming through your door asking to work. Way higher caliber person.
You sat there and told us at the beginning of the stream that you don't.
What you guys were saying is different. So I think what.
Okay, my level of not giving a fuck is way different from the level of what your like minimum wage employee gives a fuck at. Trust me.
You guys are both missing the point. It's not about giving a fuck. It's about talent and ability, and you get more talented and able people the more that you pay. At the end of the day, nobody is giving.
That's literally what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with like work ethic and anything like that. It's talent and ability and your own experience. And I have a question for you, because I've had 3 of them. Have you ever worked a minimum wage job?
Of course.
Who, me?
Of course I have. Of course.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I'm a grinder. I do everything.
You know? No, like an actual minimum wage job, getting paid.
No, Abe worked at like Smoothie King and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's not dox me any further though. But yeah, I worked at Smoothie King. We made some smoothies. We made some good smoothies. But at the end of the day, it's like this. Whether with my person is this. My old boss loved me. I could do whatever I want, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I'm getting paid X or Z. I'm going hard no matter what I'm doing. So if I'm mopping, sweeping. Like I'm going.
No, you're not. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I'm going super hard. I go too hard.
Hell no, you're not, dude.
No, I go too hard that I can't go work for somebody else. That's what I learned. I just can't. I go too hard, and like, even though my boss, I'm cool with him till this day, and you know he's my boy. He never really gave me a raise until I asked him, and I was salty. I was so mad. I'm like, bro, everybody's asking you. I'm not asking you, but I'm going hard. So that's what I learned, is that you kind of have to, if you want a raise in the world and you want something, you have to definitely demand it. Your work doesn't really showcase you're going to get more money. So that's another component of this, is like...
Isn't that kind of like the whole at-will employment thing? Like, if you want a different opportunity or more money, then go find a job that will pay that. So it's kind of the same concept. Like, you got to be a go-getter and you know, fight for yourself.
But right now, I think we're in a weird situation where you have a lot of people who want to just get paid to do the most little tasks, and that's it.
That's literally minimum wage. It's minimum wage work.
That's just not it.
Basically, Abe, what you want is you want like a $20 an hour effort out of people you're paying like $7 an hour to, or something like that.
I only give people $20.
That's your problem.
You're tripping. I start at 20. You're gotta be mistaken. You know. And then the problem is, the more money I give them, the more money. No, this is what happens. The more money I give them, the worse they perform. That's what I see. I'm like, bro, does that...
Well, what's your problem, is that you're starting out at a certain rate, and then you up the price on people?
I don't up no price. I give them incentives. There's objectives. If you do good, if you're doing this, if you're working hard, I give you on a regular basis. And then I give, you know, for benefits and whatever, like, you know, leeways, I try to give his best. But now I learned at the end of the day, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to be the abuser at this point. I have to. They force my hand. I keep running into the same situation of me being nice, me being me thinking that I'm gonna motivate someone with money, but it's not it. Nobody, they want to get paid nothing. They want to get paid basic, and they want to do nothing. It's just all it's about.
It just feels like you've learned the hard truth of the workforce. Like,
yeah, that everybody wants to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money.
Yeah,
That's
like
all work.
just feels like you had a revelation that everyone else has had many years ago.
No, I have it's not a revelation. It's now when I see articles, when I see these shadow jobs and people saying these companies are evil and doing all this, I'm sitting there looking at them like, are they that evil? Are they? You don't know what's out here. So it's like, I just think that I wouldn't agree with the concept of companies doing this to employees is bad. I just think that,
I'm noticing a trend here, Abe, is that just like you take the side of like Vince McMahon, Diddy, Donald Trump, Israel. Basically, anytime there's like a villain in a situation, you're on the side of the villain. So like you find common cause with these like big faceless corporations somehow, some way. I don't know. Like I don't know what is your affinity with these people.
That had nothing to do. I mean, nothing to do with what I'm saying, but like.
Yeah, it is. You're saying that everybody's lazy and then the bosses are actually on the right side, right?
I'm saying is that the abuse mentality stemmed from the employees not really giving a fuck. So you need to create a work culture, I guess, that it's also, we're living in an era now where it's like it's not just about money. It's, I don't know. I really don't know.
There's a bill.
Your voice is shaking and it's
What did he just say?
I think we need to change topics here.
All right.
Yeah, what's the next topic?
Off the stream.
All right, thank you, Go Bills, for that one. I bored you guys to death with that. Yeah, I know we snapped about that. The next topic is, what was the next topic? This can also be like a piggyback to this conversation. Has tipping made you more like a tipping culture? Has that made you more of a hateful human being towards like employees?
Dude, first off, Abe, based on what I know about you, is that you are you're like extremely cruel to servers. And like anybody that you need to tip, anybody that you deem like beneath you that's serving you. From what I've heard anecdotally, like you are a complete asshole to those kinds of people.
Oh, from the stream. You're basing this from the stream. I get what you're saying.
No. This is just what I've heard. I heard that like you behave like quite ruthlessly towards like even like people at like Applebee's and stuff. And like you're like the kind of guy that like sends food back and shit like that because it's like not done exactly to your liking or some like wild shit. Even though you're getting like a $12 plate.
Hold up, you eat at Applebee's, Abe?
I don't think so. But let me. I'm just wondering. So does that mean you're a tipper?
Why would you hate people because they're just participating in a system?
It's not hating people. Are you becoming a hateful person?
I will say that tipping has not changed who I am as a person at all. Like, it has no impact on me as a human being. This is a pretty boring topic, to be honest.
No, I think this is really instructive to give you some more insight about Abe's persona. So, Abe, do you tip?
Yes, I tip. But when I get a effing oil change, don't show me I should tip you. You know what I'm saying? Or when I get like a...
Who the hell tips? Who tips during an oil change?
I'm saying it at this point now, wherever you go, it's a tipping war, tipping everywhere, from Chipotle.
Sometimes you just have to when you like, I don't know, when you see the tip prompt, if it's not a situation where you're supposed to be tipping in, then don't tip.
So what's the
So if it's just some guy when I'm being served at a table in like a traditional tipping sense.
That's the only way you tip.
If I'm at a sit-down restaurant, that's the only time I tip. Otherwise that's not a convention. No, you don't tip the person at the Chipotle counter.
Yeah, you don't tip QSR, and you don't tip someone who's getting paid a full wage. If it's an actual server making $2.25 an hour, then you tip them.
So what's going on with the tipping war right now? What's going on? You guys don't see that, or you guys just ignore it?
No, you have to ignore it. You have to learn how to like not do it. I know that there's a temptation there to do it, but just don't do it. It's stupid. Actually, I actually agree with you on this one. It is actually kind of weird. I was surprised to be saying that because I thought this was going to be like how like I hate tipping people, bro. But no, you raise a good point, Abe. Like you have to like harden yourself against like tipping in situations where it's not applicable.
And not only that, they decided to throw this whole tipping war when employees have been so bad at everything. And it's not just their fault. Like, it took a while for the pandemic to get, for places to get back, in full effect. But you just had people who like were getting overworked at like working Qdoba, Chipotle, these regular jobs, and they're just getting slammed with orders. They would close their doors and say just online pickups. There's some weird things were going on. So you had employees who,
the tipping comes from these corporate overlords that you previously mentioned, because really what that is to try and pay their workers more without it coming out of their own pocket. So trying to incentivize workers, because to your point, coming out of the pandemic, there's a huge lack of labor, right? So how do you incentivize people to work? You give them more money. They don't want to put that money on the table, so they get it through tips.
Yeah. So I think that the whole tipping thing, that's just kind of the thing that we were throwing out there. I think it was correlating with the whole working in company. So we kind of threw that in there, even though the tipping stuff is kind of boring. Like I've heard other people talk about it. It is kind of like not too much to say. I think everybody's kind of the same drift of it. You get tipped if you overperform, if something's going crazy, if you're being served. But besides that, it's like, I think we're all on the same page. But there was you guys are gonna love this one then. What's his name? Bernie Sanders. He's trying to push a bill where you work you work a 32-hour work week, 4 days, and you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off or something, but you get paid the same. That's what they're trying to push. I'm assuming you guys are down for that. You guys are like, will that make it? So the question is, will working a 32-hour work week make your life better? That's the question.
The answer is absolutely yes.
Okay,
if I'm getting paid the same amount of money,
what would you do with
your
time? What would you do with the extra time?
Anything I want.
Is it so? The question is it
not
making you better?
Not work at my company. Yeah, it's making me better because I have more time to do what I want.
You're a man of leisure.
I'm a man of many things. I can use it to study for school. I can use it for leisure. I can use it to hang out with my family. There's so many different things that I can do with that time. It's not just about like leisure. If I'm getting paid the same amount of money, like how is that not making my life better?
Okay.
Why not make it let's make it a 3-day work week. Fuck it.
Yeah,
let's go all out.
I can tell you that they're trying to push this and it doesn't work. Go ahead, AZ. What do you think, AZ? Would it make your life better working a 32-hour work week?
Well, I'm in an interesting position because I've been a remote worker since way before the pandemic, and I don't fucking work 40 hours. I work like 50 and 20 hours a week, and I get all my shit done. I don't need to be in an office from 8 to 5. It's a complete waste of time, and I've got freedom to do whatever I need to. If I want to walk the dogs, go on a walk, any time of the day, I can fucking do it. So my life, I can tell you, not having to work 40 hours in office, my life is, because I've worked in offices before, my life is immensely better with my current schedule.
Okay, so your life is better on an aspect of like you have your time, you have your life, and you have your whatever you want to do. You're accomplishing it, correct? That's what you're saying? It's
just the freedom that you have to be able to pick up and go do something and not be at a desk in the office for 40 hours a week.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying you're at the desk, but I'm saying just work. I think we're talking to some anomalies here because my guy just hit us with he works 15 hours a week. But
I work basically a 32-hour work week because I have basically Fridays. My Fridays are all work from home, and I don't do any fucking work at home. That's basically what I have. I work 4 days a week basically.
Yeah, it's basically an unwritten rule in the corporate world. Like, don't schedule a Friday meeting unless it's like absolutely necessary. Like, I don't have Friday meetings ever. I do what the fuck I want, and like so does everybody else.
Pretty much. And then like even during the summer times, we officially have half days every Friday during the summer. And then everybody works from home on that day anyway. So like literally nobody is working on Fridays in the summer, especially.
Yeah, I think Bernard is just trying to get some points back with the working class. Like, this is just
what he's so they use this example in Japan. They actually tested this in 2000 they tested it in Japan, Switzerland, and like 2 other countries, right? And all the results said what you guys said, like quote unquote, oh, it's so much better. But it actually wasn't. It didn't help. It economically didn't make sense. This was pushed by like
for who, Abe?
This was
for
pushed
who?
by, I think, the company, the employees. I think everything. Like, what are you?
Why would it not make sense for the employees though?
I think we look at it. Employee is like, you can look at it like, you just want to go to work and you want to, some people, freedom can cause them to be a drug addict. If I give you too much time, you're gonna go blow all your money. If I give you too much time,
Hey, we're talking about corporate employees, like highly trained corporate employees here. We're not talking about like your minimum wage crackheads that you employ.
Okay, so you're trying to say that, see, if you're gonna sit there and assume that corporate employees have no now this is just one kind of example, like tendencies to go down a bad pathway if they have too much freedom, then
so your argument is that we can't give corporate employees 4-day work weeks because they're going to go do drugs or go to the Nino and blow their money.
I think that their work performance will suffer because they lose focus on the work, and maybe they're doing too much leisure things, and the work becomes second. So their work.
What are you, their dad, bro? If they're not performing, then you can give them like a.
It'll have a direct cause on the economy. If I'm paying you the same exact amount of money to work 32 hours a week.
What does that even mean, though? Direct cause in the economy. Who gives a fuck?
Hold up, Abe. Are you saying that work should come before your personal life? Because I don't live to work. I work to live. Like, how do you view it?
I respect it. I understand. I'm not saying, if it sounds like I'm saying that, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the sense of, like, as a person, if you're going to work, I think there's like objectives as a person that you have to, like, you can't just go somewhere. You can go autopilot, collect a check, go home. Maybe you can do that. Maybe that's for some people, like, satisfaction. Maybe you can go home and that's all you need. And your time in doing extra stuff leisurely, maybe that's your definition of happiness. But what if you want to climb the ladder? Like, what if I want to take over the company? What if I want to be the general manager? How do you do that when I'm working 32 hours? What are the things I have to do? Do I then start working more?
Everybody's going to be working 32 hours, so it's not.
Also, like, a lot of people straight up don't have that desire to move up in the company. They want to do what they're doing. There's a lot of people who are like that.
Right.
So, like, maybe you have the ambition to, like, keep moving up and stuff, but there's a lot of people out there, they make enough money for themselves and they really don't care.
Okay, that's respectable. I understand that. I get that. Like, I mean, but I'm speaking, like, I don't think that, like, less hours, will result into like, if I think there's a problem with people working as is. So I think if we push that 32-hour work week, 4 days, I think it's just going to become no turning back of the losers and degenerates that we're creating, that we have to train these people out of this mentality of doing nothing.
Do you think, like, upper management works a lot? Like, your heroes in upper management, do you think that they work a lot? I can tell you right now that they don't. They act like they do, but they don't.
Yeah, I know they don't. For facts.
Yeah, so why do you punch down, like, routinely?
Punch down, like,
yeah, like, you're always, like, you're always ragging on, like, the lower, like the bottom of the pyramid, but, like, you never think to, like, punch up.
I'm not an elitist. What do you mean punch up?
I know you're not, but, like, you're not an elitist, but you instinctively seem to punch down at, like, these, like, min wage employees, or, like, these like bottom of the ladder corporate kind of people, saying that they need to work harder, and you can't have an extra day off. That's, like, lazy. Even though, like, everybody above, even though in this, like, whole pyramid scheme of capitalism, all this shit rolls downhill anyway. Like, these like upper management people aren't working. It's all their worker bees underneath them that are doing all the working and stuff like that.
I think that this will just make regardless of what our opinions are about, like, how the workers are going to move and operate, if you're paying people the same exact wage for working 32 hours, they have Friday off, or, like, any day off, and you either have to get more people, more employees, which that didn't happen in the 4 countries that they tested in, or prices are going to go up for things. So I don't think it's a.
Why would like, in, like, a lot of European countries, they basically have, like, 4-day work weeks already.
That's why they tested it in, like, Japan and, like,
Japan's work environment is, like, freaking insane.
Yeah.
Japan, they have one one weekend day a week, like, if that. A lot of these people work, like, 7 days a week. They work, like 9-10 hour days. They're nuts. Like, their whole life is work. And in Europe, it's not like that. In Europe, they're even, like, more lax than the United States is. Like, I don't understand this, like, comparison. In Asia, it's, like, terrible.
Yeah, but Europe has crumbled. Europe has fallen.
Really? According to what?
The economy.
Like, some right-wing fucking podcast guy.
Honestly,
Europe
man, when
is over.
Right-wing, left-wing, I'm so dyslexic, I still don't know the difference. Every time you say that.
Yeah, basically any podcast that you listen to is probably right-wing. I don't think that Europe has fallen. I mean, I work with, like, a lot of Europeans. They seem to be doing all right. I don't know.
I don't know, man. These were just table discussions. These were just, things that I wanted to talk about, just because it was, like, they all kind of correlated the same thing. But podcasts, and you're speaking of the podcasting and stuff. Did you see Joe Rogan? Did you see my guy Joe Rogan stand up, and they're gonna try to blackball him now. They're trying to get him out of here.
They're not gonna do shit to him. You think Joe Rogan's untouchable?
Even from
Are you talking about the Israel stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Israel's brand is so tarnished that, like, everybody is bashing them, like, top to bottom. It's a free for all on those guys right now. The only people who are still supporting Israel is the United States government. That's, like, literally it.
You want to know what Go ahead. Sorry, my bad, Alpha.
No, that's just basically what I was going to say. The only person that still thinks that Israel can do no wrong is Joe Biden. And then Anthony Blinken. That's pretty much it. Those are the only 2 people on this planet.
You want to know who I think is actually going to turn the tide now? on the whole public narrative is Jose Andreas, because he owned, those were his workers that had just bombed, and he's like actually really influential. And I think he's already talking shit about Israel. I think he's really getting public opinion.
It's possible. I mean, the story has had more longevity than I thought it would, because it's been in the news cycle for 2 days straight now. And I saw him deliver a statement where he accused Israel of deliberately striking his employees, like one after another. There's just like, I don't know. It sucks that like it took 7 foreigners dying, not the 35,000 Palestinians dying.
Break it down for the stream. Break it down for the stream really quick. Go a quick little 20-second overlay.
I mean, it's just the deliberate. He basically said that it was a deliberate killing of his people.
Who was it?
Which he's correct. Something is it? What's his name?
Anthony
or AZ?
It's Jose Andreas. He's the popular chef. He's got a bunch of Michelin star restaurants, but he was the operator of the World Kitchen that was feeding the people. And he said it was they were systematically attacked because they actually they coordinated their movement with the IDF and told them what they were going to be, and they were in marked cars that had World Kitchen on them. And they didn't send just one strike; they bombed them 3 times. So they did it once, and then a second time, and a third. So it was just very apparent that it was deliberate.
I think he has to say that because like otherwise his people would probably his employees would probably just have a revolt, because it's so obvious that what they're doing is deliberate and like what they're doing is engaging in like a starvation policy, despite like this narrative that they're trying to spin like at the government and like official media levels or whatever. And so like it's, I don't know. Honestly, I'm more interested. I'm more like concerned about like what Iran's about to do in response to that.
They're evacuating Tel Aviv. The people were leaving there.
Were they? I saw that they were heading into bomb shelters and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be a wild week, man.
Yeah, things are starting to pick up.
But
you think I think they're evacuating because they probably know that Netanyahu is he got the green light from the U.S. and now he's gonna like go ham. So they're just like, okay, he's about to go nuts. So they're gonna prepare to get like counterattack.
I mean, he's already been going nuts.
Yeah.
He had quite a week.
Yeah, I know.
He bombed an embassy, then he killed 7 aid workers on top of all the people and all the Palestinians he killed. And all the Palestinians he's starving right now. Like, God knows what else this dude did. Like, this is about as crazy as it's gonna get, probably. And then, like, I mean, Iran's about to retaliate, but we'll see.
What's so annoying is all these little messages that Biden is leaking to the press about how angry and upset he is with what Netanyahu is doing, because he's just leaving breadcrumbs that later on, when the news and the popular opinion flips, he's going to point to those and be like, I said this all along, and I was...
Popular opinions has already flipped. So I was like, I was showing my wife the other day, like, this, because she works in politics and stuff.
It was a Jewish doctor.
If you look at, like, the polling on the U.S. population, it's like, if you ask them, should the United States still be funding Israel's war, basically, or should they still be supporting Israel? More than half of people say no. And then it's like 82% of Democrats say no. The only people who think that the United States should still be funding Israel, like as a majority group, are like your favorite guys, the Republicans.
But what was that percentage? What was the baseline? Like, okay, is that 56%? What was it before?
Well, it was I don't know what it was. It was over 50% of people, like a few months ago, supported the notion that the United States should support Israel. But since like maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe last week, I think even it was like pure Gallup, but one of these like reputable polling agencies, right? Like not people who are that the government listens to. Is like 82% of Democrats said that the United States should not be supporting Israel. Like 65% of independents said that the United States should not be supporting Israel. And then like 30% of Republicans, which is actually pretty big, said that the United States should not be supporting Israel. So like quite a lot of people. So at this point, it's over 50%. And then if you look at, like I said, if you look at, who's relevant to the people in power, which are like the Democrats, like the Democratic base by and large don't think that it's a good idea for the United States to keep supporting Israel. But Biden keeps doing it, despite all of that stuff.
I thought you said 83% of them said we're out of here. We don't want that.
That's what I said. Yeah, that is what I said. But what's confusing about that?
So Biden said he's still saying.
Yeah, he's doing it in defiance of what Democrats want.
He's part of the 17.
Yeah, he's part of the 17.
Okay, I got it now.
Wait,
so it's not a good idea in democracy to support the 17%.
So let me get an alpha opinion, trademark alpha opinion. Why is Joe Biden, besides AIPAC money, why is he refusing to, deviate from Israel and why is he sticking with them?
I think it's 2 reasons. One the first reason is the APAC money, but you asked me not to say that. The second reason is because he thinks that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel, that eventually there's going to be some big achievement that breaks through in Gaza, and then Israel's going to win this resounding victory because Israel is just amazing and can do no wrong, and like, you know, that's just the way he thinks, and it's going to absolve him. And basically, if he gives up now, he's going to be known as the guy that betrayed Israel. He's going to have, like, him and his family will have no political future. All the people that work for him will have no political future. This is what he thinks. This is what's going on in his mind. Right?
Well, you could argue that he's ruining his political future right now. It feels like it's a bit of a sunken cost fallacy. Like, he's throwing good money after bad money right now.
Yeah, I mean, look what he. That's a trademark of Biden, though. Look at what he's doing in Ukraine. It's just like, when are you gonna cut your losses, dude? Like, that war is turning into like a real bloodbath for the Ukrainian side, and they keep funding them. Like, why? It's because like nobody wants to have that on their legacy or whatever, that this is the president that, like, you know, ushered in like the decline of Israel, or this is the president that lost Ukraine, or like whatever. Like, they don't want to admit that they're going to lose. And remember, he's still thinking like I'd rather be hated than a loser come November, probably. He thinks he's going to pick up all like the Nikki Haley voters. That's what he's banking on. So that's why he's pursuing like this Israel maximalist position. I think it's a losing strategy at the end of the day, but that's literally what he thinks, is that he's just going to keep the course. Eventually, there's going to be some huge breakthrough which, by the way, it's not going to happen. Basically, the flame in that region is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it's like basically out of control. But he thinks he can manage it because he's an idiot. And his people are really stupid, and it's just going to be a huge clusterfuck. Like, you know, they sent a whole they tried to send a delegation to Saudi Arabia to push through Israel normalization plan with the Saudis while all of this stuff is going on. And then the Saudis, they told them, go home. We're not going to discuss this now. This is like how desperate these people are. You know what I mean? It's like they don't think rationally. They don't have a handle on reality, and that's really what happens when like you're getting paid for positions, and they're not like, it's like when you're getting paid to think stuff, when you're getting paid to do stuff. This is what happens. Like, this is the situation you get. So like, these guys are all for hire, man. They're not like I don't believe that the people who become president genuinely have this like long-term strategy to steer the ship of America into like a long-term a long-term future that makes sense. They're just going like, they're like a corporation chasing quarterly profits, basically. So that's my take.
So you're like the Putin. Putin said that no president has any say. They're just some puppets. That's what you're. I heard that there's some developers that already are like looking in Gaza, saying we're about to build these homes, hotels right here, apartment buildings. They already got it mapped out. That's what I heard. They got some people in New York they're looking at land and property.
Yeah, that's your boy Jared Kushner that you love so much. Jared Kushner, your boy Trump's son-in-law.
Oh yeah.
He's the one that's saying that he wants to colonize Gaza.
He said
which you're on board with, right? Because you're a big Trump fan.
Kushner said that. Yeah, that's where I got my fact sources from. So it's my guy.
Yeah, your sources. You're still voting for Trump, right?
All from JC. No, I'm the Dems now. We're back at 83%, bro. I'm back on the Democratic Party.
His last name starts with a K, so you gotta call him JK.
JK.
Yeah.
JK. Yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen here, but yeah, that I can't even believe he would even say that. I can't even believe he would have the audacity to, like, out of everything you want to say, that's what you want to say right now. You know.
Who do you think got America into the situation that they're in right now? It's literally his architecture, his like grand design for the Middle East, which is where they would pursue all these like normalization initiatives, all these like states around the Middle East, and then just ignore the Palestinians. He was the architect of that strategy, and this was his ultimate goal: is that they would get permission from all the Arabic states around Palestine to basically do what they're doing now. So they would normalize with all of them, and then they would just do what they're doing now.
This is all part of the plan.
Yeah, I think this is something that they've always wanted to do. You know, like, you're not supposed to let an opportunity go to waste. So they're using this as their opportunity to ethnically cleanse like all of Palestine. So they want to start with Gaza, and then they'll go to the West Bank. And then after that, they'll take what they can from Lebanon. They'll take what they can from Jordan. All that stuff.
Yeah, that's the scary part too. Like, I mean, and it looks like it's heading into that direction.
Yeah, I mean, that's the world that you want voting for Trump. That's what Trump wants too.
I don't know. I think
that's what you sign up. That's what you're signing up for.
I think we need to go on. We need to make a political campaign. What you just said to let people understand the real gist of the real Republican. Because there's a lot of people who are.
There's a lot of people like that out there already.
Yeah, so we got to push the message here right now. So here on Alpha Wednesdays, we're gonna start clipping things. Like I said, all the episodes are on YouTube right now. We're gonna start putting the clips on TikTok. So we're gonna start making a big push right now. So we're gonna get it done here.
For shizzle.
We're gonna make it happen.
I'm glad we just got to add for shizzle to AlphaBot. That should come in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah. AlphaBot version 2 is going to be good. How's your solidarity fast going? How many solidarities have you taken in?
I've done like 15, 16 days.
Did you beat
it? Solidarities? I've done like 2 or 3.
Solidarity. There goes Mr. Solidarity. 2-3 days.
Are you batting 100%, Abe? 24 for 24?
Yeah, 24 for 24.
Are you going to fast 33 days?
No, it's hard enough to fast on the Eid, so we're going to take a couple days off. I do a water fast for 30 days after the Ramadan, though. Well, I just drink water for the whole day for 30 days.
It's not hard to fast on Eid.
I got to go talk to my sources then.
Hold on, you don't eat for 30 days is what you're telling us?
I eat at night. Like, I'll have the dinner, but I'll just drink water throughout the whole day. So instead of, like, bottling up a whole bunch of water throughout the night, I just drink water during the day, and then I'll just eat at night, and then it's better for you.
So you don't eat during the day, you just eat at night. So you just, like, fast. You do intermittent fasting?
It's a water fast, essentially. It's a water fast. Intermittent water fast. So,
yeah.
That's going to start next week, Wednesday. Here. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what's gonna happen with this whole Republican Israel-Palestine fiasco. We got to get to the bottom of it. You have some strong claims that you say, So
what's strong?
What's strong?
Yeah, I mean, which of my claims is like strong?
About how like the Republicans basically set this whole thing up.
They did.
They're the reason why.
This is all Trump policy. This is all Trump policy, basically.
I don't know. I have to do more research. I mean, you put some good points, but
It is a fact that he put Kushner in charge of quote unquote peace in the Middle East and Middle East relations.
Yeah, he did. And then also like this wouldn't be happening right now, in my opinion, if there wasn't all this agitation in Jerusalem. So Trump also emboldened these people to get way more aggressive in Jerusalem, when Jerusalem is really the center of the conflict. So he moved the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem, for example, when every single president before him had never done that. They took great pains not to do that because they knew that it would lead to this exact same situation right now. And so he did it, and then what happened? And not only did he do that, but like basically like they were beating worshipers at the mosque and stuff. Maybe you guys saw this, but they would be like beating these worshipers at the mosque, the Aqsa Mosque, and then it just like completely lit it. Basically that lit the fuse that led to this current situation.
Fuck Donald Trump.
So it's literally this is all Trump policy coming home to roost.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, facts.
Was that the AlphaBot?
Yeah. It's gonna be the new. We'll put that on the soundboard next.
But yeah, that's your boy, Abe.
No, man, I told you that.
That's your boy. So yeah.
Fuck Donald Trump.
There we go.
I just think things are gonna get a lot worse.
Fuck Donald Trump.
All right, we heard it.
It's gonna be the new soundboard. We'll keep tabs on that. We're gonna keep tabs on that. Nobody's watched Dynasty. Nobody watched Shogun. Has anybody watched the Three Body Problem? Netflix #1 show.
Yeah, I finished it last night.
Oh no way! Nice.
That was pretty good. The second book is really, really good. So
we got a reader. Break it down.
Yeah, the first book sets up the second one really well. So we'll see where they take season 2. But a lot happens, and yeah, I think it was a good setup season. But
yeah, I liked it in the beginning. That I pivoted. I was gonna give it like 7 thumbs down. Then I'm like, okay, now I see what season 2 could be like. So now I'm like back on board. But yeah, it's decent. It's not that bad of a show. I didn't even know there was a book. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna go get the audiobook and read it.
Yeah, it was actually written, I think, in like the 60s. It's a Chinese book, so it's pretty old. But it's good. You should get on that.
What's it called?
Three Body Problem. Don't worry, they got it in 4K. They got it in 4K. I checked.
Thank God. What you said? It's a book or is it a show? Oh yeah.
It's a book. It's a 1960s series of books. It ended up being 4, but it was written in China in the 60s, and it was actually the showrunners for Game of Thrones, D&D. It's they're the showrunners for this new one on Netflix, for the show adaptation. and it's got like 5 or 6 old Games of Thrones characters in there, so they kept.
That's why they're in there.
Yeah, it's the same creators, whatever their names are. I know I fucking hate them because they ruined the last season,
Yeah,
but they're the creators of the. Yeah, they created that show, so that's why there's so many Thrones people in there.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah, that's nuts. I thought they ruined everything. Yeah, they ruined the show of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they got fired off Star Wars, so this was their project after that.
Oh man, did they released the last 2 Star Wars too, didn't they?
Oh, they rushed Game of Thrones because they had the Star Wars contract, and then Game of Thrones was so bad that Disney fired them off of Star Wars. So it's pretty ironic that they rushed it and they got fired because of that. So they never got to produce any Star Wars movies.
Well, I don't think they could have did any worse. Those are the worst movies of all time. Those 3 Star Wars, I can't believe they were approved.
Why did you like them?
I gotta believe that those have to be top 5 worst movies of all time. Maybe the first one was okay. Maybe the first one was.
Are you talking about the 3 most recent ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9. I mean, 7 was literally a remake of 4. And then they just killed off like the main villain out of nowhere. Fucking was Snow or Snope, whatever his name was. And then 9 was just literally nothing but fan. It was just like what do you call it when you're appeasing the fans?
Fan service.
Yeah, it was just 9 was pure fan service. That's all it was. Like
8.
It was like a terrible trilogy.
Yeah, and it was a terrible ending. 8 consisted of you watching one of the clone guys the whole time with an Asian girl that was just so pointless. I'm like, what's going on right now?
That whole casino storyline was completely pointless to the plot, and it gave nothing. They just wanted. I felt like it was just like a DEI thing by Disney, because there was no plot purpose for that whole casino storyline.
Yeah, like it's terrible. And I heard that YouTube now is worth 400 billion. Or 40 billion, something crazy, and like they're worth more than Disney and all those companies combined. Kind of wild.
I believe that. I mean, I basically only watch YouTube. It's like all the media I consume is YouTube. I don't even really watch TV.
Alpha Wednesdays on YouTube now. Oh, we're live on YouTube right now too, I think.
How about this? The new trend in my industry is creating brands with YouTube influencers.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Oops, let me do that.
They the Feastables. You know that candy that their agency, so Mr. Beat's agency, and the agency that manages most of the YouTube influencers is called Night, and Night had a really good launch with Feastables at Walmart. So now Walmart is asking Night to launch more brands using YouTube creators. It's actually kind of crazy, like how much our industry is shifting towards it. And you got like Chamberlain Coffee, which is like one of the number 1 RTD coffee brands right now in the country, all based off YouTube influencers.
Path Water, baby. Path. I told you guys, we know what we're doing over here. We're following the trends, Path Water.
Who's Path? What is Path?
Path Water Bottle.
Yeah. Well, what is their association?
They're like one of Night's like sister companies. But yeah.
You just made that up?
Off the dome. But at the end of at the end of the day, like, the Mr. Beast is an anomaly, but that's what's happening though. It's kind of wild, but that's like the trend with all products. Not just like every product now is going to be switched towards this, because if like look at it's not just our demo. You got to look at these. This is going to be a crazy stat, right? You got to look at these 4, 5, 6-year-olds. What are they doing? They're on their iPad nonstop watching Mrs. Piggy, Mrs. whatever her name is, Miss Rachel. Okay, so they transition from those to the regular YouTube, and that's been happening for the past 10 years anyways. So like when these kids are 16, they're going to be when they're 26, they're going to have purchasing power. They're going to already, so it's like that's going to be the wave. That's it. Everything else is obsolete, which is why we're now on YouTube streaming live, and all the episodes are on YouTube. We got the thumbnails on YouTube for all the Alpha Wednesdays. We have the gaming clips coming.
Hey, this ties into the whole Israel thing though. It's like the reason why so many people are waking up to the reality of Israel. People can talk freely now, whereas before you couldn't. People couldn't just like share information. People couldn't like see what was going on unfiltered. But now everybody can see what's going on, and people can just speak their minds on it. It doesn't have to go through 10 layers of bureaucracy and like that are all owned by like moneyed interests.
Go tell that to Candace Owens. They just sat her bitch ass down.
No, they didn't. Candace Owens is gonna be fine, dude. Joey had a huge buyout and all that shit. I bet.
So much for Ben Shapiro talking about he hates the media because they censor him and all this, and he's fucking
Yeah.
what a like.
So you talk about the wrong people, then yeah.
It was a Jewish doctor.
She'll be fine, dude. I think she has like a lot of notoriety and popularity.
Yeah, she's
somebody else. She could probably start her own shit.
She's
honestly,
a troll. She's gonna start her own. She's probably gonna have her own shit. To be honest, she's a flip flopper.
You're not a Candace Owens fan.
I'm not a Candace Owens fan. I'm not a fan of anybody, but I understand motives and objectives, and I know what people. I saw a clip of her with some Arab guy talking about, we want to apologize to all the Muslims for September 11th and how we treated them. And he was like, yeah, I want to say. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I want to slap both of them. Weird.
Why?
It just felt like, like, I don't know, man. Sometimes stuff like that doesn't feel real. It just feels too forced, and it just feels too like convenient at the time that we're in to do all that. Maybe I'm just a hater though.
You sound like a hater.
Maybe. You sound like you're down for Candace. AZ, you're a Candace Owens guy?
I mean, I love the pendulum swing when you get even her talking bad about Israel, but am I a fan of her? Not really, but I'm a fan of like what that moment represented for public opinion.
I think she's smart. I think she saw the wave of all these people saying this, so she's like, okay, let me jump on this wave. You know what? Let me jump on this wave and get all the people right now who feel like their voices are being heard. They're gonna jump on me, and that's why you see all these Arabs now posting her all this. Candace is my hero. Perfect timing. I'm a hater, so
I think you're actually mad that she's making money.
I don't hate on anybody's bag. We want everybody to make money around here. Get the bag.
I mean, I don't really like Candace Owens, honestly, but I think she's an idiot. But I appreciate the anti-Israel stance.
You think she's an idiot? That's pretty funny.
Yeah, she's a moron.
I think she just saw an opportunity to make a bag and be like, what the Republicans love parading around a black person. It's like their favorite thing to do. And I think she saw an opportunity to do that and make money off Republicans and took it. So I don't actually view her as a serious person.
I actually think my opinion was as like a mother and stuff. I think this kind of speaks almost to like her humanity or whatever. I think for like a mother and like women in particular, when all those like images of children getting like slaughtered was coming out of Gaza, I think it hit them like really hard. I think more so than like a lot of like me like a lot of dudes would actually like give credit for. And I think also because she's black and because she's so proximate to like these like right-wing cycles all the time, she knows deep down that Republicans in America want to do to black people and other minorities exactly what Israel does to Palestinians. They can't wait to do it. And that's why they like Israel so much to begin with.
That's a hot take.
Super hot take.
I think it's accurate though.
It's a pretty broad generalization. It's I don't know if I'd quite sign up to that line of thinking.
Why?
Many reasons. It's just
you think Candace Owens is fighting for black people now?
I do. I think she actually I think she loves her people. Like deep down she does.
So you don't think she's with her words in the past?
Well, what in particular?
I don't know.
She said she's the one who made the documentary of George Floyd that he died of fentanyl. He didn't die of the police. She stands behind that till this day. Yeah, you don't like that one, do you? There goes your whole Candace little deal. But that was one take.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what her full take is on that.
That's her full take. She thinks Candace.
She thinks that George Floyd deserves to die.
Yeah.
And that there's no systematic repression of black people in the United States. That's what she actually believes.
I think that's how she got her jump off. She saw an opportunity to take advantage of a situation and make money off it, and she used George Floyd to do that because Republicans really wanted that black person on their side.
Yeah, she remember.
I stand corrected then.
She's a Kanye plug. She's a Kanye bot. She works for Kanye behind the scenes.
I don't think she works for him, which I think she's like close associates with him or whatever.
She tried to finesse Kanye. You know that?
She tried to finesse Kanye.
Candace Owens' husband owns Parler, and she tried to get Kanye to buy it.
What is Parler?
Parler is like the Facebook, the Truth Social.
It's like the Trump app, almost.
It's like the Trump app. And they frauded all their numbers, and they sent it to Kanye and said, "Yo, buy this." And he almost bought it, and then he realized that they were.
What was the name of that one guy? What was the name of that one dude in Succession? The Norwegian guy.
I didn't watch it.
I know
you didn't watch Succession? That's fucked up.
Yeah, I gotta take.
You should watch that, Joey.
Wait, seriously, Abe?
I gotta watch it. Yeah, I don't watch too many shows, man. The shows I've been watching are for the stream, and it's like I gotta just catch my. I fuck with the Asian community. I watch a lot of Asian stuff, to be honest. Most of the things I've been watching.
Did you watch Watch Tokyo Vice on HBO then.
Maybe I watch like these a lot of indie stuff from.
You watch anime?
Yeah, but I've been watching.
You watch Attack? Don't you watch Attack on Titan or some shit?
Yeah, I watch. I'm almost caught. I think I'm caught up.
All right, yo, I gotta hop off, boys. See you next Wednesday.
All right, yeah, we'll have a better structure next week. This week was a power week. I should have had a better show lined up, but this was a good show.
You should have had your AV lined up. Is what you should have had at the start.
Yeah, we kind of blew the beginning of it, but whatever. We had a good little banter right now. So this will be a good show, I think. So good job, AZ. He might have.
On that note, I'm gonna have to drop off too.
I'm gonna pop off too. You know, we're gonna. Should we end it with an AlphaBot or should we just?
Yeah, do what you want.
See if the AlphaBot. We have a sign off.
And just like that, we've reached the end of another.
All right, you guys sign off then. I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out.
Right.
Fear not, for our adventures are far from over. Alpha will be back in the captain's seat next time. But until then, keep your minds open and your spirits high. I'm AlphaBot, temporarily signing off. Remember, the future is not written in code or in stone. It's crafted by those who dare to dream. Stay curious, stay brilliant, and above all, stay alpha.
All right, see you guys next Wednesday. Alpha Wednesdays.